Association show that players are 15 times more likely to suffer from motor neurone diseases.
Well, the disturbing findings come as regulators, World Rugby, welcomed the call for an elimination of contact training and a reduction during matches.
Study also found that former Scottish internationals were at just over twice the risk of developing dementia and 3 times at the risk of Parkinson's.
Well, for more on all of this, let's speak to Stevie Ward. He's a former Leeds Rhino captain who was forced to retire in his 20s after suffering 2 head injuries back in 2020. Welcome to the programme. Great to see you. Just on your personal story, first of all, I think you were just 27, weren't you, when you decided you had to step away from the game, even though you're absolutely smashing it in the world of rugby. A really difficult and upsetting decision for you, but your health just had to come first, fundamentally.
Yeah, I had to make that choice and make a decision to step away. I was 27 and probably coming into my prime physically and as an athlete, you know, and I had that opportunity to lead a team for the rest of my career. And I'd literally just had a teammate, an ex-teammate of mine called Rob Burrow, who you might have heard of, who got diagnosed with motor neuron disease. And, you know, I set off on the path to win and to bring more success back to Leeds in Rob's name, and I picked up the concussions and ended up retiring with post-concussion syndrome, which is obviously symptoms that I still struggle with today.
What are those kinds of symptoms, Steve?
Headaches, dizzy spells, nausea, migraines, and the confusion. You know, your sort of mental health, anxiety, and real sort of it coincides with leaving the game as well, you know, so leaving the job, the life that I've always had, and it's not easy, you know, it's not easy, and it's been a tough old couple of years.
Sure, because playing rugby was what you love more than anything, but I wonder, in the context of how you're feeling now about it all, do you regret ever having picked up a rugby ball?
I don't regret it. I think it's just been who I am since 6 years old, you know, and I've found a lot of love through that game, and it's literally been a way for me to build leadership skills, to connect with people, to have amazing opportunities, and also it's been, you know, it's hurt me a lot of the game. You know, I've had a lot of injuries through it, and I've had a lot of trauma. And the concussion is sort of something that I'm still dealing with now. But, you know, I think it's put me onto a journey which is even more important. I think it's even more important where we've got to look after each other. And I think also right now, I think the message is for players to take up some responsibility and to control what they can, you know, within this current climate, which is worrying, it's scary, and it's hard. It's hard to navigate, you know, as a player, you have to be invincible. You have to sort of just be single-minded. But we've just got to be doing the things that we know that we can do to make sure the science improves and to make sure that we're looking after each other better.
Is there a way then to play rugby in a safer way, do you think, going forward?
I think we just have to reduce contacts, you know, and I think that means by playing less games, building the games up better. I think less contact time in training. You know, I'd used to make 40, 50 tackles on a Friday night, and then Monday back in training, I'd be doing the same again in a padded room. And I think you build all that up over the course of a career, and it's a lot of concussions, a lot of sub-concussions. And then also there's some science that's entering the game now. There's gum shields which monitor load, monitor impact, and these gum shields have been used to monitor the G-force, but also the type of rotation, the type of movement that your brain does, so we can actually try and get figures for which are the worst impacts, you know, and that can sort of give us the scientific backing to understand the rules that we need to change, the sort of the collisions that we need to avoid, and the stuff in training that we need to stop doing as well. So again, that's another a call for players to take this up and to understand that from where they are, whether we like it or not, we are sort of guinea pigs now. The more research is coming out, the more understanding is coming out. So we need to look after each other around us, but also look after the players that come up behind us to make sure it's safer for them and safe enough for the game to carry on, because we love the game. No one wants the game to go away. You know, it's incredible and it makes people feel amazing. So we need to find a balance.